All right. You may think I'm biased, but I think I'm being objective. Right now, take a snapshot of this presidential race. Former President Donald Trump has a strong economic prosperity message. Governor Ron DeSantis, as yet, has no economic agenda. And this is going to be a pocketbook election. That is, I think, the biggest reason why Mr. Trump is way ahead in the polls. I could be wrong, but that's my view. You saw some of it last night in the Sean Hannity town hall. Joining us now is two very dear friends. Pam Bondi is former Florida Attorney General, and she's America First Policy Institute Justice and Law co-chair. And Hogan Gidley, who saved me many times from the media, former White House Deputy Press Secretary, and he is also with AFPI in some way, shape, or form. All right, kids, I love both of you. I'm glad to have you here. We got a couple sounds from the Sean Hannity thing last night, which I thought was pretty good. Let's play the prosperity one first.
We're going to bring energy down. We're going to then bring interest rates down, because interest rates, people can't buy homes, they can't borrow money, they can't do anything now. I mean, right now, our economy is a total mess, and we'll stop it. And when we stop inflation, and when we get interest rates down, and when we do all of the things that we have to do, including, again, I rebuilt our military, but we have to rebuild it again. You know, our military has no ammunition. We have no ammunition. We've given much of it, almost all of it, but we've given much of it to Ukraine. And we want to help people, but I want to stop the war. I don't want that war to continue. And I'll stop that war, mark my words.
All right. I'll go to you first, Hogan Gidley. Give me a quick evaluation of that. He punched away on the prosperity stuff. I think that's a clear winner. I think his Ukraine war thing is going to be very controversial. We didn't get into the COVID counterpunching back and forth, but really I would not have preferred to live in New York than Florida. But putting that aside, Hoagie, how do you grade him on Hannity last night?
A++, Larry. Look, you talked about his message. That's great, but let's talk about the record. All of these candidates, and I've been doing this for 25 years, all of them have to say, I would do these things if elected. We have no idea if they would or no idea if they could. But if you want energy independence, energy dominance, be able to afford gas and groceries, Trump can say, I did it. You want to secure a southern border? He said, I did it. You don't want the world to be on fire and the threat of nuclear war to be imminent? Trump can say, I stopped it. I did it. Everything everyone else is going to say will be, hey, elect me on the promise I could do these things. Donald Trump said last night to Sean Hannity, to those folks in Iowa, and to the American people, I did it once, elect me, and I'll do it again.
Pam Bondi, grade him for me, please. Quickly. You heard Hogan gives him a pluperfect. I think you're a tougher grader.
Not on this speech, A+, absolutely. And, you know, Larry, I got to watch you in the White House when you were director of our National Economic Council, working side by side with President Trump to make our economy the greatest in the world. And as Hogan said, I mean, this has never in our history of our country happened before, where we have a president do so many great things, because, of course, typically we have consecutive terms. Now people got to see 4 years without Donald Trump, and to see what happened to our country. And remember his hauntingly prophetic speech in 2020, where he said, what is fuel now? About $2 a gallon? What if Biden got in office, what would it be? $8, $9? And sure enough, look what happened. And again, everything he's done for the economy, but not only that, protecting our borders, building the wall, keeping us safe from this crazy drug abuse and fentanyl problem that he cares so deeply about, and backing the blue. Remember, he gave our military all the surplus he gave our law enforcement officers all of the surplus military equipment. What was the first thing Joe Biden did? Take it away.
But I think, in fairness, Pam, you are a Floridian. I mean, here's the mystery to me. Okay. Mr. DeSantis is, number one, a smart guy. Number two,
very smart.
He's a good governor, all right? Got a good gubernatorial record. I am sure he is opposed to Joe Biden's open borders. I'm sure of that. My guess is he's a little shaky on tax policy, but I don't want to go into depth on that. What I don't understand, Pam, is why he isn't comparing New York and Florida's economy and taxes, California's. Why isn't he developing an economic agenda message? You know, he's talking about things like electability, which the polls are blowing up right now. That could all change. I understand that. Then he talks about, I can, give me 8 years. And of course, Trump counters and says, give me 6 months. I mean, that stuff, electability and 8 years and stuff like that has no meaning. People want to know, in a kitchen table pocketbook election, what are you going to do to get us out of this malaise? Why doesn't Mr. DeSantis counter? He's got it in him. I don't understand why he's waiting.
Yeah, and Larry, all of the Republican field, there are a lot of good candidates, obviously, in the primary. That President Trump has said a lot of good candidates in the primary. But none of them can do what he's done. They don't have the record. Basically, what they're all saying is, we want to be just like Donald Trump, maybe without all the tweets, but who cares? Donald Trump turned our country around after Obama, with your help, our economy, and he has the proven track record to do it again. And I think everyone's gun shy because everything they're going to say is basically echoing what President Trump did for our economy with your help in the White House.
Well, look,
and Larry, everyone else is going to say I'm Trump's policies without his personality. I would argue it's Trump's personality that got those policies in a place like Washington, D.C., that we now know was weaponized against him at every turn. That man's brashness, his boldness, is what got us record low inflation. It's what allowed us to keep more of our money and made people's lives better, regardless of race, religion, color, or creed. And the fact he's done it once, it proves he can do it again.
I got to jump out. Look, you're both great. Trump had a good night last night. He had a great night on CNN, too. I think those were both very important appearances for him. I want to, my heart is with Mr. Trump. Everybody knows that. But I also want to beat Joe Biden. I want to beat Joe Biden and his socialist policies. And so I just don't understand why Governor DeSantis doesn't mount a stronger, message-driven campaign, especially on the pocketbook issues, which are going to be first and foremost. I just don't get it. It's something of a mystery to me. But we'll see. Life goes on. Things can change. There's always time. I just want the best possible candidate, the best possible combination. Because where my head is, we must stop Biden's socialism.
Right.
It is killing the country and putting us into decline. Pam, I love you, but I got to go. Hogan Gidley, I love you too, but I got to go. Thanks for coming on today. Appreciate
Love you, Larry.
All right, kids, take